Today on the Biz Talk, we've got something a little bit different. We're going to give you an inside peek at our one-week course business social media session. We're going to have some Q&A as well. I hope you enjoy it.
This is super important to your business. Marketing in general is a huge part of every business. If Young Nails didn't have marketing, you guys would not be here today, right? You would not know about our program. Nobody would contact you. You'd have no idea who we are. The only thing you know is that, okay, they have good products, but you wouldn't even know that because we're not communicating with you guys on this, and that's what marketing it is. Marketing is communicating your brand to your local market, okay? Specifically for a salon, it's like, this is something I think about all the time, okay? Like just from all the content we put out and the amount that we've grown as a company, I think in terms of if I was to apply what we're doing to Young Nails and apply it into a salon setting, it would be explosive. Like you would 100%, you would have a lot of influx, a lot of interest. Your exposure in your local market would be huge, like really, really big. And part of that is because that's what I do here at Young Nails. I have been able to like experiment so much with marketing and social media that like we've gotten, the amount that we're growing right now is kind of like insane. It's out of control, to be honest with you. Right now, they're over there having meetings all day today on like we have a lot coming up, end of year holiday, and it's complete and pure madness. And that's my job, is to make sure that it keeps coming in. It keeps coming in. So always what I'm thinking is like, how do I show you guys how to do the same thing, right? Like, because I know if I had a salon, if I was in your shoes, I know exactly what I would be doing every single day with content. If I owned a salon and I had nail professionals work for me, either booth renting or on a commission, I would do it, and I would do it hard. And I would be the most well-known salon in my town, potentially state, and then eventually I would try to go for like national recognition, right? I would go big and all in. So what does that mean exactly? It means that every single person in this room you can't say that social media is not important for my business, okay? Like, because what you'd be saying is, I don't need to market my business. I don't need to market my business. Maybe 10 years ago, social media wasn't as big, but not today. So if you have the thought in your mind that I can potentially build a business without social media, you might have a chance in doing that, but I'm telling you, you're gonna go the long way. You're gonna work 20 times harder in building a clientele than utilizing what's there for you and building a massive like influx of potential customers into your salon. It's real, and the reason why I know this is because I'm doing it every single day. This is what I'm doing. Anybody here heard of TikTok? Are you guys on TikTok? No? Okay. We just got on TikTok like 3 months ago. This is the thing with social media, is that it's changing always. TikTok is hot right now. We just got on TikTok and we're growing. We're starting to grow on TikTok right now, okay? And so this is where my mind goes, is what's the newest platform? We gotta be on there. We have to be on that platform. We have to be creating content, because anybody from the age group of, let's say, My daughter's 9, she knows TikTok. Daddy, can I go on TikTok? No, you can't go on TikTok. You're 9 years old, like, so slow your roll. But it's like 9, 10-year-olds up to like 18, 19 is kind of the wheelhouse, maybe early 20s. But there's a lot of women and men in there who have an interest in being nail technicians, where we need to be there to expose our brand so that when they do decide, the first thing they're gonna think of is young nails, We just had, last night, we just had like last week, we've been playing around with TikTok, and then we've seen some posts go like viral. So it's a really interesting place to be right now. But for you guys right now, the one main platform that I would focus on is going to be, it's going to be Instagram. So is everybody here on Instagram?
More video or picture? What is that?
TikTok is video. It's video. So it's video plus music, plus skits, plus bizarre, satisfying videos. And yeah, there's a lot of that. So it's a blend of like there's people doing skits and comedy or singing or lip singing to music. And that's kind of the thing, is that TikTok has licensing with all these like musicians, and so you can use 15 seconds and create a post. But then also there's this whole other side of like satisfying videos, whether it's wrestling or golf or MMA fighting or whatever it is. It's starting to branch out, and you can start nails, like we're finding out. You can go in there and start consuming and watching stuff, right? But for you guys right now, I would say Instagram is the main platform. Is there anybody here that's not on Instagram? Not on Instagram? Or Facebook? Everybody here is on Instagram?
It's a personal page.
What's that?
It's a personal page, it's not a business page.
That's why, okay, that's a great, how many people use Instagram for business? Because it can be your personal page, but you still use it for business. Yeah? Yeah, you can convert it into a business page as well. So this is where this always goes. It always starts with content. You know, creating content on these platforms. Is there anybody here that's creating content at least once a week on Instagram? Posting at least once a week? 3 people? How about once every 2 weeks? No? What about every day? Really? Really? Daily post? Oh, so you plan it and then you just drop it in and then it posts for you? That's good. That's really good. You as well? You post daily? You post daily? Okay, good.
I can't get done for work. Oh, you can't?
There's other ones like Hootsuite and Sendable, and you can, yeah, you can check those out if you want to drop them in there. So that's good. Everybody else, you're posting every once in a while, like what, once a month, once every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whenever, randomly? Yeah? Okay. So here, like those of you that are posting daily, that's really good. You're probably on the net. I mean, have you utilized it for advertising? Has anybody tried to advertise on Instagram? You have? You've tried it? Has it worked on Facebook? Has it worked out at all? Yeah. Yeah, no clients. Okay. We'll jump into a couple strategies of what you can do to try to. What? That's okay. It's trial and error. If something doesn't work, you try something else. You try something else, and then you try something else. It's literally a process of like constant experimentation. So if your caption sucks, you do the next caption. Like don't get caught up in that. You just keep going. That's what you have. You have to do volume on social media. So God. I just keep thinking of me in your shoes and what I would do, and it would be lots of daily content, maybe 1 or 2 nail shots a day, plus a few stories to kind of start out, right? Even in between clients, I'm like eyeing your donut, like I'm trying to focus, and I'm like, very distracting. So, but I would start to do that if for those of you that are posting daily, maybe just get a couple stories in, and the biggest thing is like you got to start getting volume into it. And a lot of people I hear is like, well, first of all, I hear 2 sides of the story. I hear I'm too busy, Okay, but if you're too busy, that means I'm assuming you have full book clientele, which means you're making money, which means you're doing well, which doesn't mean that you should not post, but maybe at the end of the day, or one of those 7 clients you're doing, if you're just snapping a picture of their finished work and posting it, like you don't even have to do anything. If you're too busy, you've got too much content to post. You can post 7 times a day without even thinking about it. So that's what I say to that. Or there's, I don't have anything to post. Like I don't have clients and I'm trying to build a clientele, so I don't have anything to post. And with that, you have to maybe do your own, if you have all this time during the day, you should be utilizing that for marketing purposes to build a clientele, to build your clientele. You know, getting exposure for the work that you do. You have to put stuff out. What happens if you don't have nail content? How do you show your work? Like, you can't show your work without some kind of portfolio, right? So those of you that are posting, you have a portfolio built up. For those that aren't posting, you don't have anything. If somebody comes to you and says, hey, you get into a conversation, you let them know you do nails. Oh, I would love to see your work, you know? Go to my Instagram page. I've got 300 different looks and shots of all the nails that I can create and do, you know? And that's the real reason why you need it. Outside of like connecting with your customers, you need a portfolio to show customers. If you don't, how are you going to build a clientele if you don't have any work? So if you don't have customers right now, what does that mean? You can do your own nails. You can do family, friends. Honestly, I don't care how you do it. You need to get content. You've got to shoot nails. What's that?
You can use Sally too.
What's that?
You can use the head.
Yes, you have this right here. How many people have put, that's cool. How many people have been taking, you guys have, oh my God, like this whole week while you're working on stuff, take a selfie, like at Young Nails headquarters, working on my craft. Post. That's a post. You know what I mean? Here's something I just did. Check out this freaky hand that we're working on. Post. People will smile. Anytime people see the freaky hand, it breaks. They immediately comment on it. It's like a nice little icebreaker. But more than that, you want to show people like you're out here working on your craft. You've got to be able to connect with people. Now, here's the thing. For me, I'm 45 years old, okay? It was very difficult transition for me to go into traditional marketing and transition into social media marketing. Because in my mind, social media marketing was a young person's game. That's what I thought initially. And I'm in my 40s. So I was like, how am I going to keep up? You know, maybe I'll hire somebody young to come in and do it. At the end of the day, I thought to myself, this is my business. It's like, for me, I go extreme. Like, it's just how I am. I'm very black and white, super extreme. So the place that I went was 3 years ago. It was, if I don't learn social media, and if I don't understand how to market Young Nails, my business is going to die. Like, that's where my brain went. Literally, we're going out of business, okay? And some people might say that's a little extreme. I actually just believe that. I believe that if I didn't hop on this, we're not going to be relevant anymore as a business. We're not going to be relevant because everybody is here. Everybody's on YouTube, everybody's on Instagram, everybody's on Facebook, Snapchat, LinkedIn, now TikTok. My kids don't watch television anymore. They don't. They watch iPad and they watch, if they're going to watch television, it's Netflix. There's no more traditional TV with my kids' generation. Traditional programming is going to be gone. It's all on demand. And a lot of people will argue with me and say, well, you know, that sucks. You know, the world is going to hell. That's the world. Like, what do you, like, how are you going to argue? Like, this is a desk. I hate that that's a desk. Well, it's a desk. Like, You need to utilize it. So social media is the same thing. I wasn't happy that the world changed, because we were doing 13 trade shows a year, traveling all over the country with our whole team. These guys were part of that team. They would travel it was madness, right? Trade show, like constantly. And then we also did advertising on the nail magazines, Nails, Nail Pro, and Nails Mag. So, like, I was happy in that zone because we had a formula that worked. And then all of a sudden it stopped working and our business started to decline. So like, imagine that, like, hey, I'm doing everything right here. I'm doing all the trade shows, I'm connecting with nail professionals, I'm advertising in the trade magazines. Why is our business not growing? And we're, not to mention, the cost of trade shows and the cost of advertising in magazines is insane. It's really expensive. So all that was happening was we continued to decline. So it's like, okay, my business is going to die if I don't change and get on with current marketing. And here's the thing, I actually believe the same thing for you guys. I believe that if you don't adjust to today's marketing, you're going to struggle like I struggled. And like I was spinning my freaking wheels, trying to like get out of this, like, oh my God. It was panic time because it's not just me that gets affected. It's my mom, it's my brother, my wife, my kids, my brother's kids. At the time when my dad was alive, him. That's just the immediate. Who else does it affect? Well, we've got 50 employees here and their families. Oh, and by the way, we have 40 distributors internationally in different countries and their families and their employees. We're a decent sized business. I'm just not thinking about me. I'm like, everybody is gonna be screwed if I don't do something, okay? So that's why I took action, because there's a lot on the line. And it's like, okay, whatever I gotta do to learn this, I'm gonna learn it. I'm gonna learn it, whatever I gotta do. I really believe the same thing for you guys. You guys have made the investment here. You made it here. You're learning insane, amazing technique. But you didn't come here for me to say, like, to lie and make you feel good, right? Like lie in your face and go, don't worry about this stuff. You're gonna be fine. I'm here to be honest, and I wanna help you as nail professionals. I want you to grow. I want you to have actual careers. The only way to do that is to be straight up and honest and say to you, like, you gotta make if you haven't made the shift, you gotta make the shift into social, start learning about it, okay? And that's, for some of you, it's kicking that off in the right direction so that you can build clienteles, so you can be relevant. Because what happens when a customer walks in your door, and let's say a brand new customer or somebody that you talk to, right? And her nail tech is on social media and she's like, oh, I'd like to see your work. And you're like, well, I don't have an Instagram page. You are out of the picture. Instantly, you're gone. She won't even consider you. The customer won't consider you. You're not an like, how do I see your work? And here's the thing. If you're also thinking, I'll build a clientele of like Habib's generation, 40-year-olds and up, right? I'm gonna build my clientele there. First of all, they're all on Facebook, so they're actually on social too. You guys are on social media, they're on there too, but outside of that, you can't, like, the world shifts, right? Like, you gotta start, you wanna have your doors open so you can take any clientele. You don't wanna, like, paint yourself in a corner and say, I'm only gonna focus on 45-year-olds and up, because they don't really care about social media and I can chat with them, make a connection that way. It's hard enough to build a clientele. To then now, like, not consider 45 and younger is madness. What people do, including myself in the beginning, was we overcomplicate it. What do I mean by that? The judgment of your own work and not posting it because you think your work is not good. And so you don't post it and you don't get exposure for what you're doing because you think it's gonna hurt you. Will people see my work? If people see my work and they don't like it, they're definitely not coming to me. Maybe, but if you post nothing, there's 100% guarantee that nobody is coming because they have no idea what you do. You know what I mean? It would be better to post work and then not build a clientele, because then you know, okay, I got to improve my work, because obviously I'm posting stuff, people are seeing it, but they're not coming to me still. That is reality, right? Business, building a business, you have to be objective, and you've got to take feedback, and it's hard, but that's business. And so that will at least give you information of, okay, they don't like my work, or my market, what am I doing? Not take it personally, like, oh my God, I suck, and I'm giving up. Not that, but instead, what am I doing wrong? Let me tweak and adjust. Let me tweak and adjust. And then let me keep putting out content. And then what's working, what's not working. That's how you find out what works and what doesn't work, by putting out content. You should hear the way that I talk with our team in our social media department. It's like, here's an example. There was a YouTube video we shot a couple days ago. I said we have to reshoot the whole thing. And I was on the border of that. The only reason why we had to reshoot the whole thing is because half of the video, Tracy's hands were out of the shot completely. And I was still considering, can I use this? I think I can use this. I think I can, and here's the thing, I would have used it, but everything went wrong that day, as Steph was there. Everything went wrong that day. One of my files from one of my cameras, the whole thing went corrupt. So I didn't have a separate shot that I could try to wiggle in there and then salvage it and post. And I would have posted a pretty crappy video, because still it would have been, people would have complained for sure on the comments. They would have been like, what the hell is this? I can't see anything. I post 99% of stuff that we create. And I'm always like, post it, post it, post it. Post, let's go, post. Those are the two things I'm constantly saying, is just put it out. Let's see what happens, Let's see what happens. That's how if you don't put information in the market, how will you know if it's good or not? You don't know, you have no idea. Just because you think it's not good, that doesn't mean anything. You're one person judging your own work. You have to let the market look at it and see, am I going the right direction, am I not? And then of course you blend that with your intuition of let me try this, let me try this. You know what I'm saying? So the whole point of this is, you gotta get on social media if you're not already on it, okay? And just know that we went through a massive, it was hard. We went through a massive, putting ourselves out there in the beginning. Kind of like maybe what some of you might be experiencing today. I don't want to put my work out there. I don't want people to see it. I get that. I had to do that. Greg was always the one on the videos. And then we made a huge change in content. And I couldn't ask Greg to do these things. So I was and I say this every time I come to this event, I let people know this. I say the same thing because I want you to be able to relate that I even went through this myself of, I'm gonna step into the front of the camera and people are gonna be like, who's this? Who's this guy? And that's exactly what happened. I
watched the videos and you see the comments and you're like, are y'all not you, y'all. The people watching this stupid stuff they sing.
Right.
I just felt I don't pull any punches, but really I felt it was we're supposed to be united, but it just gets ugly.
And it gets ugly. No, it does, and it did. Well, it did, and it still does. But it's part of it. It's part of it. It's just part of it. And I will say this, there's way more good comments and positivity than there are the bad stuff, but the bad stuff is just part of it. You know what I mean?
I just wanted to say, believe it or not, your videos is literally me, and that's why I came. Because you're I don't understand what you're saying. I don't get it. What are you trying to show me? Literally, that's how I felt.
The what? Oh, the Approach is Beginner. Oh, yeah.
When I watch those, I'm well, if you can't get it, I can do it.
Yeah, it's...
Talk to you today.
It's...
oh my gosh, I'm doing it.
No.
What should I see? How do I get it?
But it's true. That's why we did that series was, look, I I had the advantage of watching Greg, Tracy, I've seen Mel do nail, I've seen all of them. I've seen thousands of sets of nails, and I've filmed them, and then I've gone and edited them so they're on a screen for like 6 hours, and I'm like, if I see another set of nails, I'm gonna slice my own throat. You know what I mean? Like, I see nails more than probably right now, I would say more than most people do, you know, because I see them and then I see them again. It's 24/7 I see nails. But so I have that advantage of like, I've learned so much from that process and understanding what to do. And then even watching Tracy do like real-time videos of like how she saves time to do an hour or 30-minute fills has been like, as somebody that is learning, it's been like life-changing for me in nail. So when I step in to do it, there is some experience that I have, but I'm not actually physically doing them every day, but I have the information. But like, that's the thing. I'm gonna ask the questions from the perspective of a beginner, because a lot of times what's natural to them, you know, to the pros, it's not natural to me. Like, what do you mean do this? What does that mean? You know, they have these phrases that they use, and I have no idea what the hell that means. So I ask, but that's awesome. That makes me feel good.
We've like all been able to watch her.
Congratulations. Good. You're doing the right thing. This is really, honestly, the best place you can be with our team. Like, they're like, yeah, that's awesome. But like, it was hard, you know. It was hard stepping out into that, but I didn't have a choice. I felt like I didn't have a choice. That's why I did it, you know. So here we are today, and we have, you know, a really solid social media, you know, subscriber base on all the platforms, but we're also extremely active on them. It's so valuable. Like, you start to get information that, I mean, marketing firms would die to have, right? Like, we go into the comments or the DMs, and like every week, Steph pulls up a list and she's like, here's what people are asking for in the comments. So we produce content real time based on what you guys want to see. You know, it's really good. So it starts to feed off each other. And I feel like in a different way, that's what will happen with you in your nail business. You know what I mean? Building it up. It's different, but the concept is the same. Like, we're manufacturing products. Your product is your service. But like, you want to have it so that, you know, not taking any more clients. That's what you want. You have a constant demand so that no matter what, your business is always going to be strong. And then if you have to move or something happens, you've got great marketing. You'll know how to do it in another area and build, you know, and have a good reputation. So you guys have any questions in anything on any of the platforms, anything from it doesn't matter. Any questions at all?
Sort of for like super shy on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
So,
stupid shy.
It's funny, I posted something on LinkedIn on this topic where I talked about how before I started, I went back to, you know, where I had to learn how to collect money for Young Nails. When I first came to Young Nails, nobody, like, it was my mom, my brother, and I. And my worst nightmare was asking somebody for money. Can I borrow money, or can I get money? Like, the thought of it disgusted me. I'm like, you know, I was that guy that was like, I don't want to ask for money. You know, it's just a big deal to me. So here I come into the business, and my job was, I got to collect the money, right? And part of it was Greg was busy. He was out selling. My mom was doing purchasing. She's, you know, procuring the products. They don't have time. And I knew, I was like, I would go to my mom, my brother, and say, how come we can't get this money? And they're like, oh, they'll pay. And, you know, we have to call them and follow up. And I was like, shit. I was like, okay, let me take this on. So I did. And it was like, talk about shy. You think shy in front of a camera?
Like, thinking about it, my face is already.
Yeah. No, that's how that's how I was. I was so freaked out and nervous. And, you know, I pick up the phone. I was like 26 or 20. I'm like, hi, Sabine from Young Nails. You have a bill, and like phone hang up on you. You know, people like customers are like, first of all, they're like, who the hell are you? And second of all, click. So but I didn't have a choice. I thought, if I don't do this, we're not gonna get our money. And then I always go to that place, like, we're gonna go out of business. That's not an option. So it took me 4 months of like, I had to force myself. I was like, there's the phone. I would like stare at it. You know what I mean? I would stare at it, and I was like really freaked out about the phone, and I would just like dial and just like, you know, like that feeling of like cringe, awful. Yeah. Please don't answer. And then hello, and my pitch got better. I got smoother. And then I started getting good. And then I became the collections freaking customers did not want to hear from me. It got to a point where they were like, it can't get to the point where Habib calls you, because that means it's now serious. And what happened? Money started coming in. I got good at it. And then I started kind of liking it. You know, it was weird. And the whole point of that is, I thought I was way too like shy in that way of picking up the phone. I thought I was wrong about myself. I didn't know myself. Like all the things that we think we are, we have no idea. You know, I thought I could never get in front of a camera too. You know, I was like, I don't want to get in front of, like, why do you think for all these years it was like, Greg, this is your job. I'm going to run the business from the back end. I don't want any part of it, you know? And it wasn't until I started doing it, and it was awful, because I practiced on an iPhone, same thing. You know, that experience of collecting money helped me, because I thought back to that and I was like, shoot, you know what? Maybe I can do this, let me try. And I just like, I would show Greg and Tracy my lame videos. Check it out. And they're just like, cool, man, you know? Yeah. And that's, you know, you're showing your peers, and they're having a weird reaction. But in my head, I was like, I don't have a choice. I have to do this. So I just did it. And then I was like, it's not so bad. You know, now you can't get away from the camera. You set up a camera, and I'm like, where's the camera? Constantly. So like, that's part of my job. Like, I run all the IG stories, right? So my mug is on there every single day, and I like it now. I enjoy it. And then it starts to open up creativity of like, well, what can we do here, here, here? Like, that barrier of getting in front of the camera is now gone.
So how do you break the ice?
You just keep, you do it. You have to do it. You have to do it over and over. Mm-hmm.
We went up
and try it.
Well,
yeah.
You did it when Greg did the 5,000 followers. I mean, you were the first
Right
one to go, me.
Yeah. So.
I was in the background. Oh, man.
So like the whole point is like, you might find out maybe you don't like it, you know, in the end. But you won't know that. Like and trust me, that's why I don't trust myself, my own mind. I don't. When I'm like, oh, I don't think I'll like that, I'm like, you don't know if you're gonna like it. You need to like play with it. And are you gonna be good at it? I don't know. Do I have a talent for this? I might, or I might not, you know? And like, if I don't, fine. I'm gonna find something I am good at, and then I'll excel at that within my business. But I really believe in, you can't say you're not good at something or you don't like it unless you try. You have to try it, and not just try it once. I'm talking like, I put 3-4 months of effort into something to find out if I liked it or not. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So that's what I would say. Yeah.
What about old content? So I still have pictures from a year ago on my Instagram, and I want to say a little over 500 posts, and I actually thought about this morning because I went on your guys' page and noticed you still had over 3,000. Granted, I didn't look through all of them, but should you go and clean up some of your old posts?
No. What you should do is go back to your old posts and see what worked and repost them.
Okay.
Yeah, repost old, because here's the thing, like, I don't know if you've noticed that, we do that. Every 3 to 4 months, we're reposting stuff that did well 3-4 months ago, because 3 months ago, we had 50,000 less followers, right? You might have 50, 60 less followers than you did 4 months ago, but even the people that are still that were following you back then, you know how much content they go through a day? 3 months ago, they're not gonna remember.
Right.
You repost that piece of content, and then it's probably gonna do even better because you've added more followers. It's a proven piece of content. It did well back then, and the way that you see what you did well, I'm not kidding you. It's literally go through your post, like this is what I do. Oops, I'm getting lost. I go through the posts, I'll literally, let me just show you. I turn this off, right?
Yeah.
So I should know how to work a camera. Oh, well, whatever. So I'll literally just go through okay, here, 3,002 likes, okay, this one, 4,157. Greg's demo here did 36,000, that's pretty good. This meme did 42, like almost 43, that's pretty good. 2,700, 3,000. So now I'm going, okay, 4,000 likes is my top post. I want to see if there's anything higher than 4,000. So I'll keep going. 72,000, whoa, here's one. This is Stephanie's. She did a demo on a bow tie. It's like super adorable little bow tie. 73,000 views. That's a lot. That's a lot. We will be reusing this content, and not only will we be reusing it, it's something that we'll consider for ads as well. Like this did well, let's use it for ads. Let's put it on Facebook. Let's, once I see a piece of content that did well, I'm always thinking, how can I repurpose it? How can I reuse it because it did well? Not overthink or let it die. You have to go back into your old posts and see what has done well, and then repurpose them, reuse them again.
Well, I've used pictures, I did a set of prom nails. Actually, Stephanie was the one, I talked to her on IG about it, and I've reused that one and said oldie but goodie. My picture quality from a year ago and the nails that I did are gnarly compared to what it is now.
Do you see?
Okay, cool.
But you can see all the different types of images on here. Look at this one, right? That's professionally done, right? Yes, it got 635 likes. It was a repost of Greg's flashback 2014 cover. That's like a professional photographer, beautiful picture, beautiful model, 635 likes. You know what I mean? And then you go to, let's see, even this one. This is just a picture of a painting top coat on a nail, and it did better, 1,041. So this one's sideways. It should be like that, but it's sideways. It's just a nude. It's beautiful shaping. 3,300. You can't what's a good piece of content? It's so subjective. What is good content? You'll go through your pictures and say, no, I don't like the picture quality, it's from a year ago. Repost it, see what happens. The thing that happens with a lot of nail professionals, even just people in general, is they think, if I post content and it doesn't do well, I'm gonna die. It feels like the worst thing on the planet. But what you're actually doing is getting information from the market. You're fine if you can somehow bypass the okay, it didn't do well, and nobody likes my picture. If you can get past that and look at it from a data perspective and say, okay, interesting, this didn't do well. Why? You start asking that question. And then you start looking at stuff that did do well. And then you start asking, why? Because what happens is a lot of people they're good posts, they'll bask in the glory and they'll feel good about it, but they won't ask why. And then the bad posts, they get depressed and God, that sucks, and I'm not posting anymore, but they don't ask why. You've got to ask why, you've got to investigate, for your business. And don't take it personally. Like, I say this also every session. I always say, part of your content can be talking about your journey. You know, did these nails, I'm working on this. I feel like I'm getting better. Is it hard? Yes. Like, be honest about it, be authentic. You know, a lot of the vlogs that we shoot, it's just, I don't sit there and go, okay, for this vlog, I'm gonna make sure and capture A, B, and C. I just turn the camera on and I'm literally documenting what's going on. Like, we have 80,000 things to do today, you know, or like, we're hiring. You know, on Saturday's vlog, it's about us hiring, because we're actually looking to hire somebody. So I try to shoot that content and then document it and then creatively put it in a way that people will enjoy. You know, our journey. This is our journey. What you're seeing in the vlog is actually what we're going through right now. You can do the same thing with your posts. You know, you can talk about, like, hey, my dream is I want to have my own place. I want to do aesthetics and I want to do nails. And then post a picture of you. You know what I mean? It's honest, it's real. You're putting your dream out there. And then as you do nails, you can talk about what you're going through. You know what I mean? Even challenges or struggles, and I'll post that stuff too. Like, when it's a gnarly day, I'll be like, dude, today was insane. I'll post it. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes?
How do you choose a catchy name for a page? Or do you just use your name?
I personally don't think that's gonna make a massive difference. It can, but what really makes the difference is if you called it wire nails, okay? I don't know, I'm just looking at this, wire nails. Wire nails can work, even though it's an awful name. If you're posting content daily, if you're working on your technique, if you're marketing yourself on social media and really building your nail tech brand, your personal brand, marketing it properly, I think most names will work. There's a lot of crazy names out there, you know? So I wouldn't
I would pick something that you like. Hey, I like that. And then obviously you want to check to make sure it's not taken, somebody else doesn't have it, because you don't want to get into that issue. There's like searches you can do
for your business name. So it's fairly easy. And then as long as you like it, I think you're good. Even for an Instagram name too.
Easy for somebody to type in.
Oh, that's good.
20 different numbers.
Yeah.
Things like that, and symbols. Make it easy, because for mine, it's Karen for nails. I always say it's Karen for nails, all spelled out. If there was the number 4, then people are like, oh, well, 4 then. So
Yep, absolutely. I love that. Any other questions? Cool. If you guys have any questions, I'll be here tomorrow. I can always pop in. I'll probably pop in anyway and just shoot some content of you guys working and post it on Instagram. Other than that, enjoy. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, totally.